Well, we finished up DC's Crisis on Infinite Earth, and it left the whole universe in a completely new and almost rebooted state. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the outcome of the show, where it leaves us, and what the future looks like for DC television. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Crisis on Infinite Earth finale and where that leaves the TV shows. But first, let's get in on this month's giveaway. We're giving away a copy of Secret Wars. All you have to do to get on the giveaway is be a subscriber, hit like, and leave a comment. Well, fans of the DC television universe over on CW were not disappointed in Crisis on Infinite Earths. The hype for this crossover has been building up for a couple of years now, and the fallout from the crossover is far-reaching, probably the biggest thing being all the new Earths. Well, some new Earths and some Earths just restored. Let's take a couple minutes to break down all those Earths and see what this means for the future of the DC series. As Crisis on Infinite Earth closed, we basically were brought a new continuity to the CW's DC universe, and all kinds of new connections to the shows and movies that we didn't have before. Probably the biggest change is having several of our primary television shows all combined into Earth Prime. Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, and Batwoman now all inhabit the same Earth. Now in the past we called this Earth 1, but now they're referring to it as, like the comics, Earth Prime. So, just like in the comics, all the events of Crisis on Infinite Earth have merged all their Earths together, allowing the heroes to cross over whenever they want and actually basically live right down the street from each other. This new paradigm will be pretty interesting on the little screen. We also got that great call out to the Justice League, well, the Super Friends maybe, and Gleek. Remember, we had the Wonder Twins on Smallville a couple years ago, so we may see them again. The next Earth they broke down was Earth 2. Now, we used to belong to a parallel Earth, which kind of had an old diesel/cyberpunk version of Earth, is now inhabited by Courtney Whitmore, aka Stargirl. Now, Stargirl will actually air on both DC Universe and CW, and her series will take place on Earth 2. This really kind of makes a lot of sense. If you remember, Earth Prime, or Earth 1, whichever one we're calling it for this video, actually had its own Stargirl, which appeared in those Justice Society of America episodes in Season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow. Now, during that same montage, we got to check in on Earth 9, and this is where the show Titans actually exists. Now, if you remember in the opening montage in Part 1, it was shown that Titans existed on Earth 9, and now that the show's been closed out, it appears Earth 9 has been fully restored, and there's no impact to that series. Now, coming in on Earth 12 was something a little different. So before Greg Berlanti worked at the CW, he actually wrote the script for the now infamous 2011 box office bomb Green Lantern, which starred Ryan Reynolds. And we actually got a little recycled cameo from that movie in this film. Now, for me, I don't think this is referencing that film, but I do think this is referencing the HBO Max series, which is coming in the next year or so. All these little montages are nods to some other shows that they seem to have in development, and I believe the Earth 12 reference is a reference to that upcoming Green Lantern TV series. Now, we did get a reference to an Earth 19, and it was pretty short. It's interesting because Oliver mentions civilizations fell, and this is where the Swamp Thing series actually lives. Now, this show was infamously canceled by the DC Universe and had all kinds of rumors and back channel stuff going on that was pretty unclear to fans. We actually have a little playlist on our channel if you want to go check it out. I'll try to remember to link it in this video. But that story was quite a soap opera. Also, from the DC Universe is Earth 21, where Doom Patrol lives. Now, if you remember, Doom Patrol was actually introduced in an episode of Titans, but they had a different guy playing the Chief. Right now, the Chief is played by Timothy Dalton, but back then it was played by Bruno Bashir. And his character was a bit different. He was really characterized as being more evil and conniving and manipulative than the version that Dalton plays on the show. This doesn't surprise me. This allows the show to be pretty weird and wild without being forced into a crossover with the guys over on Titans. Now, for me personally, the most interesting one was Earth 96. And this is the one that had Brandon Ross Superman. There's two things to take from this. First and foremost, it appears that the fate of that Earth is a little different now. He's got that yellow coloring around the chest logo, and it sort of indicates that Superman never lost Lois and the rest of his friends at the hands of the Joker. I guess Oliver set everything back in place. Now, this isn't the Tyler Cochin Superman that we're getting another show for. I actually think that's going to be set on Earth Prime. And it does bring all kinds of questions into my mind. All the rest of these are previews of other shows that are happening, except this one. Are we going to get a continuation of Brandon Ross Superman as maybe part of that anthology series on HBO Max? Or was this just a fitting send-off for that character that Roth never got when the movie sort of flopped? It's a pretty good question. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, we do know that there's lots of other Earths out there, and the fact that Ezra Miller's Flash showed up indicates that there's so much more that we don't know. Birds of Prey, 1989's Batman, even Shaquille O'Neal's Steel should exist somewhere in the DC multiverse. Who knows will show up in the next crossover? Well, hopefully this clarifies where this leaves all the Earths at the end of Infinite Crisis, and that maybe you learned something from this video. I'm really curious on which Earth you're most excited to follow, and how do you feel about all the CW shows finally being combined into one world? I like it, but I don't think everybody will. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.